Welcome to the Lawyer's Library. Today, we delve into a significant Supreme Court judgment, Sakshi Arha vs. Rajasthan High Court, a crucial case concerning the validity of reserved category certificates in public service recruitment. This case, decided on 8 April 2025 by a three-judge bench of the Supreme Court, addressed appeals arising from a split verdict regarding the appointment of civil judges under the Rajasthan Judicial Service Rules of 2010. Let's break down the key facts. In 2021, the Rajasthan High Court announced the civil judge examination. The advertisement, with an application deadline of 31st August 2021, didn't initially specify a cut-off date for reserved category certificates like OBC-NCL, MBC-NCL, and EWS. However, a later notice issued on 4th August 2022 introduced a crucial condition. Reserved category certificates had to be issued either on or before 31st August 2021 or between 31st August 2018 and 30th August 2020, along with an affidavit for the latter period. Several candidates, including the appellants in this case, belonged to reserved categories and successfully cleared the preliminary and main examinations. However, they were excluded from the interview stage because their certificates were issued before the newly specified cut-off date, in some cases as early as 2016 to 2018. Aggrieved, these candidates filed writ petitions in the Rajasthan High Court, but their pleas were dismissed, citing precedents that generally require candidates to possess valid certificates by the application deadline. This led to the appeals being filed before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court framed key issues for consideration. Issue 1 was the subsequent notices requirement for certificate issuance by 31st August 2021 arbitrary and a violation of the appellant's rights? Issue 2. Was the Rajasthan High Court correct in relying on precedents like Ashok Kumar Sonkar v. Union of India? Issue 3. Were the appellants entitled to relief based on the precedents set in Ram Kumar Gijroya v. Delhi Subordinate Services Selection Board? The appellants argued that the cut-off date in the subsequent notice was unfair because the initial advertisement and the 2010 rules didn't specify any such deadline. They contended that their earlier issued certificates were valid as the advertisement only mentioned the prescribed format. They also argued that the Ashok Kumar Sonkar case was irrelevant as it dealt with income criteria, not certificate validity, and that the Ram Kumar Gijroya case supported their claim for flexibility in document submission when no deadline was initially provided. They even cited other cases like Doli Chanda and Dhirender Singh Paliwal, where relaxations were granted. The Rajasthan High Court and other respondents countered by stating that the subsequent notice was consistent with existing state circulars which limited the validity of OBC-NCL, MBC-NCL certificates to 1 year, extendable to 3 with an affidavit. They argued that the advertisement's requirement for a legally valid certificate implied adherence to the application deadline as per the Ashok Kumar Sonkar precedent. They distinguished the Ram Kumar Gijroya case, stating that the appellants lacked valid certificates altogether, unlike the delay in issuance in that case. They also argued that any relaxation would be unfair to candidates who followed the rules, citing the Rakesh Kumar Sharma case. Ultimately, the Supreme Court dismissed the appeals, upholding the Rajasthan High Court's decision. The court reasoned as follows. The advertisement's reference to certificates as per rules implicitly included the state circulars limiting the validity of OBC-NCL, MBC-NCL certificates. Precedents like Bhupinder Singh, Rekha Chaturvedi, and Ashok Kumar Sonkar established the last date of application as the default cutoff for eligibility, including certificate validity when no specific date is mentioned. The subsequent notice was not arbitrary, as it aligned with existing rules and precedents, ensuring a uniform cutoff for all candidates. The appellant's certificates, issued significantly before the application deadline and exceeding the 3-year validity without affidavits, were considered invalid. Ram Kumar Gijroya was deemed inapplicable as it dealt with delays in issuance not inherently invalid certificates. The appellants weren't awaiting certificate issuance. The principle of ignorantia juris non excusat, ignorance of the law is no excuse, applied, as candidates were expected to be aware of the certificate validity rules. Granting relaxation would be unfair to other candidates who complied with the rules. The ratio decidendi, or the core principle of the judgment, is that in the absence of a specified cut-off date in recruitment advertisements, the last date for application submission becomes the default date for assessing all eligibility criteria, including the validity of reserved category certificates. Furthermore, OBC-NCL, MBC-NCL certificates in Rajasthan have a limited validity as per state guidelines. The court also made some important obiter dicta, or observations made in passing. They highlighted the dynamic nature of OBC-NCL, MBC-NCL status, requiring periodic verification, unlike the permanent nature of SC-Sen status, referencing the landmark Indra Sahni case. The court also reiterated the need to exclude the creamy layer from reservation benefits to ensure affirmative action reaches the truly disadvantaged. In conclusion, the Supreme Court's decision in Sakshi Arha reinforces the importance of adhering to eligibility criteria and the stipulated validity periods for reserved category certificates in public service recruitment. It underscores that in the absence of explicit cut-off dates in advertisements, the application deadline serves as the crucial date for determining eligibility. Thank you for reading the Lawyer's Library. Subscribe for more in-depth analysis of landmark judgments.